Hello and welcome to Get Your Pets Out, the podcast where pet obsession meets comedy, hosted by myself, Eva Binderman, and Barry Binderman, my co-host, who is a tortoise, and he remains boxed and in the shed. So in his absence, I'm delighted to keep Joy and Fiora, the ragdoll cats from my producer, and they remain destroying my flat until Barry wakes up. This week we had Kate Cheka join us. I've just come back from sharing a work in progress space with her, where I had the delight of watching her form her new show. I think it's going to be called Kate Cheka, The Last Funny Woman. It was a real treat. She's fantastic, and she's got a tour going on at the moment for Messiah Comes. Great show. Go and see it. Kate was the darling of the Edinburgh Fringe. She is reigning Funny Women champion. She's an artist, a comedian, an all-round creative force. I really enjoyed filming this with her and talking to her because she's like warm, wonderful, weird, just bounces off being funny. But more importantly, she's a committed cat person. And we talk through the pets and the cats that she's had throughout her life. So I hope you enjoy it. Here it is, Kate Cheka. This is producer Alice's cat, Joy, who's coming across to say hello to you, and Fiora will leap out at some point.
Here it is. My lap.
Now, you don't actually have a pet of your own.
No.
But you are everybody's nominated pet sitter.
Yeah, I do a lot of cat sitting.
How many cats are you sitting for at the moment?
I think this year was 4.
That's quite a lot. That's quite in demand. Because once you've got one reliable pet sitter, that's it. And do you just go and stay at their houses? Or?
Yes, because I don't live anywhere because it's cheaper.
What does that mean? Are you a cat?
I'm a cat, a street cat. No, because it was a sort of weird decision I made last year. I had another really bad housemate.
Oh, yeah.
In London. She was insane. She joined a cult, which was absolutely cuckoo bananas. So I was like, I can't keep moving in and then finding out these people are
in cults.
Yeah, they're insane. So but then my friend's parents were like, why don't you just stay at our house when you're in London to do your gigs? And I knew I was going away a lot last year.
Right.
Because I had this residency in New Orleans, so I knew I was going to be there for 2 months.
Amazing.
I was going to blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, great, I'll just stay with them when I'm in London. So when I'm in London, I live with my friend's parents. Which is weird, because I don't even live in my childhood bedroom. I live in my friend's childhood bedroom. And my housemates are 70 and 80 years old, respectively.
I mean, the drinks cabinet alone will be excellent.
Yeah, but
top
it is.
Shelf quality.
And I don't have to,
the heating will be high.
The heating is on all the time. There's underfloor heating in the kitchen.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's a dream.
I mean, it sounds amazing, if not odd.
Yes.
Which I enjoy.
So then I end up just moving around a lot. And then I love cats. So.
Would that be your animal if you could have a pet?
Yeah, cat. Definitely just cat person.
Absolutely.
No,
nothing else.
I think it's like an inherent thing. Don't you think? Like people are like, I either love dogs or cats. And it's like something deeply within you rather than like a decision you make.
I think so. I mean, I feel like the lifestyle of a comic is odd because you are literally being like prodded by
Hi, babe. Sorry,
when you said it's an inherent thing in you, the cat came to you and just agreed with you.
Yeah.
Does this mean that maybe I'm more of a dog person? They're just avoiding me. I'm like Labrador sort of energy going on over here.
Yeah.
But I think like comics were odd creatures because on stage we have to give off almost like dog energy. Like we're likable, we're sort of, or try to be, and
what? No, you don't want those kinds of comedians. What, like really needy, begging the crowd for attention.
Here I am, Kate. Here I am.
You want a cool cat? A cool cat.
I can't be a cool cat comedian, but our lifestyles are cat-like. Because it's
out at night,
we're late
sleeping
at night,
in the day.
Ideally, if we can. Oh, okay. Joy's joined both of us to persuade me.
Whoa,
and now she's doing some tricks with my clipboard. What pets are in your life at the moment? So you're pet sitting, and then
So at my friend's parents' house, it's Xylo, the cat.
Xylo, that's a good name.
Yes. Xylo, which means
Xylo
someone once said short for xylophone, and I was like, no. But he was Someone, like, when I was cat sitting once, I had a friend come and stay, and then they were like, Xylo, short for xylophone. And I was like, yeah, xylophone.
Yeah, because he's super long and bendy in the middle.
Yeah.
That's
Say
not
what
a
xylophone. That's an accordion. A xylophone's like what you play as a kid, you know, with the like bing bong.
Mine was
bing,
bendy.
Bing, bing.
Mine was bendy.
Sorry, yeah.
A lot of wood rot in my house. Yeah, damp.
So wood, xylophone. So xylo means wood in Greek.
Right.
So it's like wood phone, like wood noise is where and xylo was found in the woods.
I'm playing it with my imagination here in front of you to try and remember that. But I'm just I know that mine's gonna go straight back to accordion. But xylo, like silo, just a large container of.
No, he was found in the woods. So his name is like Greek for wood. Xylo.
Your friend's parents.
Yeah.
Sound fascinating.
Fascinating, yeah.
What creatures of culture.
Yeah.
I will also live there. That's what I've decided.
Yeah, you can move
I'll come across
Sylvia and George if you want.
Sylvia and George and Xylo. Oh my gosh. And what's Xylo like?
Xylo's great. I mean, he's like one of those cats where he's not like this. Xylo's kind of mainly interested in you if you're giving him food.
Excellent.
You know those cats that are like, you feed me.
And if I was larger, I would eat you.
Yeah. And he's quite big and he's quite heavy. He kind of like, but he will come and sleep on the end of your bed.
Oh.
And he'll wake you up purring, but mainly because he wants you to feed him. So he's like, purr, purr, like wake up.
He's got a goal.
Yeah. And then when you're in the kitchen, he meows at you as though he's never been fed. He's like, meow, meow, my food. And it's like, you have food there.
I think that's probably the sort of cat I would be. Is that the sort of cat you would be, or are you much more? I mean, it sounds like you're much more sort of independent.
I think I'd be out chasing mice.
Oh, we are different creatures.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You are a cool cat.
I'm a cool cat.
I'm a backpuss. I'm just like, feed me and love me.
I would be. I mean, feed me lovely too, but I need a lot of alone time.
Okay.
As well, I'm very independent.
Just like,
but then I like
joy
to come,
here.
But that's why I just think I'm a cat, like in person. Like I want to come home and I want cuddles when I want them.
Yeah.
And I want like nice food and like lying down. I love to sleep. Fucking love to sleep. And then at night, I like to be out doing things that people don't need to know. You know.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm out and about. You don't need to know where I am.
No.
I'll come back when I'm done.
Yeah. No tagging me.
Yeah.
No chipping me.
Don't chip me. I'm
you
free.
Because you're going off being free things, and me because it'd be quite embarrassing when you check my location and it hasn't moved for about 4 days. It's just like, is she okay? I'd be like, yeah, I'm actually really happy.
Yeah,
I got a block of cheese.
Yes.
I'm living by the fridge.
Do you think cats really love cheese or something? Because that's not a thing.
Exclusively talking about myself as a human.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think cats love cheese. That's mice, famously.
Mice and Eva Binderman.
Yeah.
Podcast host.
And podcast host, comedian.
Yeah. You will find her on
cheese
stage.
Lover. Yeah.
Or by the fridge.
Yeah. I love it.
And sadly, never the two shall meet. That's the dream.
You could start a gig where you have a little mini fridge on the stage full of cheese.
That would be good. And less
Call
sad
it
than a mini fridge
Mousetrap.
full of like booze and stuff like that. People would be confused and upset for me if I had to bring my own mini fridge.
But not full of cheese.
Yeah. Camembert. I'm getting distracted by my own changing life dreams.
Carry on.
I think, when did so you say, like, you're so clearly cat.
Yes, like even as a kid, I loved cats. So I was like born in London, top floor flat. My mum is not a cat person. She's not really that much of a pet person. She likes bees. She kept bees for ages.
My mum kept bees.
Yeah.
But you were in a top floor flat.
Yeah, no, but okay. The bees came later. So we're in this top floor flat, and I just like loved cats as a kid. I was like, cat, I want cat. And then we moved to the countryside when I was 6 years old. And part of the deal of us moving to Bradford-on-Avon, Wiltshire, was I got a cat.
Blackmail.
So my mum was like, okay, we're going to move her, but what did she want? And the things I requested was, because we were going to have like a garden, so then I knew I was allowed to get a cat. So I was like, I want a cat, I want a fig tree.
And she's like, I
hear
hear
the
bees?
Cat is dead, and the fig tree is still going.
And was it worth it? Was it a good trade-off?
No, it wasn't enough to grow up in the countryside, in my opinion. People go to Bradford and they're like, it's beautiful here. And I'm like, yeah, but as a teenager, I wanted to
when you go back
to
the countryside as an adult, you're like, this is beautiful.
Beautiful. Like today I woke up and I was like, and my mum's, I was like, stunning. But as a teenager, I was just drunk in a field.
Bleak.
Yeah.
Bleak. Grew up in Northumberland myself, and it was like 4-mile walk to the nearest bus stop. And you're just like, you feel like you're in the most depressing bits of Wuthering Heights at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like really boring.
And so animals are the only thing that
Cats was what I got.
And just a cat.
Just a cat.
I think that was a bad deal.
You think I should have got something else?
Yeah, at least a cow.
I wanted a cow for a while, and my mum said she would buy me a cow, but the problem with cows is you have to get at least 2.
Oh, do you?
They get really lonely, yeah. Cows have best friends.
Oh, that makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
A little bit. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you can't just have one cow, they don't like it.
I grew up in the countryside, so I didn't know that the other options were available. So I was just steeped in the idea that this is it. And
this is how life is.
This is what we have. And so we had bees, we had dogs, we had cats, we had weird horses that Mum had found.
Yeah.
And so just surrounded by animals.
You were like real countryside.
Yeah. Like neglect level countryside.
Maybe nice.
Loads of bees, loads of all this. We just had everything. So the idea of animals, they were just like animals were around us at all times.
Yeah.
But the idea of like pets came sort of later. They were just other creatures in our space. So, but coming to get a pet as a child that's come out of the city into the countryside, and then you've suddenly been given a cat.
Yeah.
Like that must have been quite a change.
No, I mean, you're a child. You adapt easily to change as a child. But the cat was great.
What was your cat's name?
Sophie.
Sophie?
Yeah, Sophie the cat.
I don't know why that's tickled me quite so much.
But her original name, she was born, I think, on the 1st of May. So the people that had, had the litter she was born into, who had her parent cats, they called her Beltane after, the festival, the goddess, the spring goddess, Beltane, pagan spring goddess.
All these names, is it just cats that have these impressive
names?
Yeah, Beltane after a pagan festival, and you're like...
And I was like, no,
that.
Sophie, I'm not calling my cat Beltane. Which, now, I think I wouldn't even know. I kind of like it when cats have really people names. You know, when you're like, a cat's called Wendy or whatever.
Or Gary.
Yeah. I really love it when they've just got
Where's Gary?
Human names. Yeah.
I'm confused. We've got Joy moving between us. She seems to have fully chosen you. And I'm going to make the excuse it's because you're wearing very soft
fleece
trousers.
dungarees. Yeah.
It's the fleece. I think if I was wearing warmer items, she would be over here.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah.
You want Fiora to have a play? Use the hand. She loves the hand thing.
Put your hand in the old glove.
It's a glove.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm putting the glove on.
No, I can't see the tail.
This is... Is this...
Spooky.
It is spooky, isn't it?
Or did you want erotic?
Let's see if we want... It's the same thing. What are you talking about? And,
those are the same feelings.
Sorry, realised different feelings. Spooky and erotic. So with all of your cat sitting, sort of roaming around, and I love a bit of cat sitting because you can go play with the cat, eat the food, the food in the fridge, not the cat's food.
Yeah, eat the cat food.
Eat the treats.
Quid's in.
And then sort of be in different spaces and go about whatever you want. But what's the sort of grossest thing that you've sort of come across being sort of cat adjacent? Oh,
the grossest thing. I mean, cats sometimes throw up, don't they? That's quite gross.
And they make a big song and dance about.
Yeah. But actually, so do humans probably. Do you know what I mean? When you're drunk and you're throwing up.
Yeah. Mine's the next day.
It's also
I've caught something.
Big song and dance.
I've caught something. It's from another. I hope so. I wouldn't put your fingers under there.
Sorry.
This is great for...
But only put the fluff fingers under.
So for anybody that's just listening, this is probably confusing, but we're using a large glove with feathers for fingers to try and entice Fiora out from under the sofa to be part of this experience.
For those that are not watching this on a visual medium.
So
are you confused?
Anyone other than my mother who's sitting through both. Oh my gosh. Do you think you'll... it sounds like you're, super comedy focused, career focused at the moment, moving around quite a lot, taking, any opportunities that your sort of career can give you. That's
what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Sounds like.
I feel like I'm
making excellent choices.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I'm a 35-year-old woman who lives with her mate's parents. I don't know if that's...
Well, it's all about packaging, isn't it?
I don't know if it looks like I've made amazing choices in life.
I just a 35-year-old woman with central heating.
Right, you've got your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's... But it's
sometimes I wake up and I think, I've really missed something here.
Where am I? Who am I?
Like, what did I do? I look at a childhood picture of my best friend and I think, this hasn't panned out how I expected it to.
Do you ever, you're surrounded by her childhood room, do you ever sort of forget that she's the age she is now? That you're in a room so
Kind
often?
of, because it's just full of like her stuff from when she was like a teenager.
My best friend is 13. What's happening?
And even she's got her own flat, you know?
Okay, I'm getting dragged under the sofa by this huge cat. Okay, it's not working out how I wanted it to.
The cat's not coming to you.
I'm relinquishing this.
Oh.
And I'm just going to tuck it
She's
over
so
there.
cute.
Do you think you'll have pets in the future?
Yeah, if I can get a house, like it's not like a choice. I would love a house. I don't know if you've seen this economy that we're in.
No, what economy?
If someone would like to give me a house, I would absolutely be in it full of cats. And my childhood friend whose bedroom I live in, Zoe, she's just got a cat.
Oh, she's got.
And now I've been cat sitting for her cat sometimes in the daytime when she's at work because it's a kitten, Bianca.
Bianca.
Yeah, and I stayed around the other day and Bianca slept in between us both. It was so cute.
That is dreamy. And it would just be cats, full of cats. How many
And it would
cats?
just be cats. I think I'd probably just start one, actually. Mm-hmm. But yeah, maybe two. But yeah.
I think so. It's just the sort of stability before you.
Yeah,
get a
my
pet.
issue is I just don't live anywhere, so I can't get a cat.
Short of
and
a raven. There's not many other things you could have.
There's like so few pets you can carry around. I would, sometimes I look at those TikToks, where those people take their cats on planes and stuff. And like, I travel with my cat, but honestly, like logistically, it's just an absolute fucking nightmare. And I think there are very few cats that actually like that lifestyle.
I think that's the main thing. It's like, are these people perhaps projecting a little bit? As they shove the bubble helmet onto the backpack.
Do you know what I mean?
Put them on their back.
I mean, I did see one of those, a guy on the street with a cat in a backpack the other day, one of those like bubble space back. But I don't think the cats like it. If I'm honest, I think probably they don't.
I think of all the pets, cats probably
the least
like that. Because there's a gentleman around here that if we're lucky enough, we might see him. He goes up and down. If we're lucky, it's a real treat. Especially this time of year, he goes up and down the main street on his mobility scooter that's been souped up because it goes at some speeds.
Okay, nice.
And he has a chicken on the front and a chicken on his back.
Oh, okay, right? I love that. Yeah.
And I thought they were stuffed, but then he pulled over one day and they got down to have a little walk around and got back willingly on.
Wow.
And I was like, that man,
he's got a real connection.
And he doesn't strike me as somebody with great stability of home life. So I'm like, maybe it's a chicken.
Instability if the chickens come to you.
Yeah. Maybe he's just got
sound mind.
Poultry aura.
Yeah.
They've flocked to him.
My mum had chickens for a bit, but I hated the chickens.
Oh, no.
I found them like annoying
chickens
and a bit intense.
I feel
bees,
maybe my mum also had chickens and bees. We had 49 chickens.
49 bees. I was like, that's not enough.
Rinsing them for
49
honey.
Chickens is too many, though.
But if you have 50...
We had 3 chickens.
That's a sensible amount of chickens.
What happens if you have 50?
50 chickens means you've got to be inspected by the government.
That's too many chickens.
So we had 49.
Yeah, that's fair.
More bees.
More bees.
You don't want the same amount of one bit of honey for one egg sort of ratio.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening. And if you had we live in a world where there was no budget. You had a massive house and
no budget.
And Alice always.
When you're saying no budget, is in you have no money or there's no limit.
Money doesn't matter.
Okay, got you.
Got
Huge budget.
Huge budget.
Right, got you. Yeah.
So much that there is no budget.
Oh, there's no budget for you. You're not being budgeted. Got you. Yeah. I was like, there's no budget, but I have this huge house. I'm really poor, but in a massive
It's cold.
house.
It's drafty.
You can't put the central heating on. You can't really afford to leave the house. But
you're just in someone's empty house. They happen to be the parents of someone you knew a long time ago. We're on hypotheticals. If you had unlimited budget, that's a better way of phrasing it.
Unlimited budget.
Unlimited budget.
No budget makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had, and also Alice always, my producer always likes to stress that there's no ethical problems as well. So no problems with this question. There's no ethical dilemmas. If you could have any animal as a pet, what would it be?
Big cat.
Like, which one? How big? Or you're just talking like a massive...
just massive house cat. Massive sized house
6'4".
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool too.
Yeah.
But like a cheetah or something.
Fiora, the other cat, is... oh my gosh, she's right behind me. She's like looking for a big cat.
Big cat.
It's borderline flirting.
I'm big cat.
In comparison to the smaller one.
In comparison to this cat.
Would it be like a cheetah or a puma?
Yeah, cheetah, I would say.
That'd be pretty good because you'd have all that land as well. You can let it just sort of run wild.
Yeah, I was watching a video the other night, as you do these days. For some reason, you need to watch like 50 small videos before you sleep at night. Or at least I do.
What would you dream of?
And then I wonder why I can't sleep at night. I was watching one and it was a man hugging these cheetahs in some kind of cheetah...
Wait, the night
rescue
watchman,
center.
And they come and sleep with him.
Yes.
Yeah, at night.
And I was like, oh my God, that would be great.
Yeah.
But I also don't, I think they wouldn't like it.
I think they'd eat me.
Yeah, but I would still like it.
Or they'd go through my cheese fridge. And I'd be like, are you here for me? Are you here for my cheese fridge?
Yeah.
No. Apparently you don't even like cheese.
Yeah, but that's the case with anyone are they ready here for you or the cheese fridge?
Gosh, I've gone into a bit of a crisis.
Okay, don't worry about it. Do I cat sit for the cheese fridge or the cats?
It's for the dreamies for me.
It's the dreamies.
Love the dreamies.
And the problem is sometimes when you cat sit, like I'm not always like very good at like remembering to like, people have very strict rules with their cats.
They do have very strict rules. Stricter, I would find, for their cats than say for their kids.
Oh, way stricter.
Yeah.
People are like, this is the time the cat needs to be fed. And I'm like...
And you need to measure it.
That's insane.
To the gram.
Cats just get fed an amount of times a day, not at specific times. Yeah. Like, when do cats need feeding at specific times? I'm sorry, but like as someone who grew up with a cat, you just put food in the bowl and if the cat was hungry, it would eat it.
And then it would tell you when it was empty.
Yeah, and then like that was, I don't know. So anyway, people are very like specific like about their cat. And then sometimes you forget and you like leave a bag of Dreamies out, cat breaks into it. Diarrhea, it's like
everywhere,
nightmare.
Up the walls, you're like, my shift's over.
And you're like, oh God. And then one time with Xylo actually, so I was cat sitting Xylo, it's over in Georgia Way. My mum was staying. And then, because Xylo does the thing where he acts like he's never been fed. Mm-hmm. He was obviously doing that. My mum got up earlier than me. He was doing that in the kitchen. My mum tipped him what she thought were like the cat food into the bowl, but it was actually just an entire bowl of treats.
What a dream day for Xylo.
So he just ate an entire bowl of Dreamies.
Oh.
And then I came down and fed him again because he was like, I've never been fed before. My mum was like, I fed him this morning. And I was like, oh, this cat's had like an entire bowl of Dreamies. But that's just cats for you. They will try and swindle you.
They're opportunists. That's what they are. They're opportunists. And, you know, I think, Dreamies, don't put them to sleep. That's what I thought they used to be. They used to be calming.
No.
They're basically like crack for cats.
Crack, yeah.
I've eaten quite a lot of Dreamies.
Why?
I started...
It's my question.
When I was cat sitting, I started on a bag of Dreamies, thinking it was healthy snacks. And I quite enjoyed them. I got about 3/4 of the way. Have I got an eating problem?
You've eaten?
Yeah. Very crunchy, salty. They're quite delicious.
I'm surprised you'd want to admit that out loud, I think. You ate. Would you buy yourself Dreamies now?
I mean, if I got them for a gift, I wouldn't be... You wouldn't say... I wouldn't say, sorry, I don't have a cat. I'd say, these are going on the posh shelf.
If you're cat sitting for someone else, do you ever eat some of their Dreamies?
I'm not going to admit that out loud.
Okay, that's
Depends
the line.
how many Dreamies they've got.
Yeah,
they'll notice. Do you...
Okay. Should I eat Dreamies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone should eat Dreamies.
Everyone should eat some Dreamies.
Everybody should have
this
5
podcast
Dreamies a day.
sponsored by Dreamies. Good for humans as well.
Watch too many videos at night, can't get to sleep. Have a pack of Dreamies.
They don't send you to sleep.
But they rob you of so many vitamins that you just pass out anyway.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, great.
All right, I will stop telling people that I eat Dreamies.
No, tell people. People find it funny.
I think so. And then they're concerned.
And just shocked. Shocking.
If you why do you think people have pets? Like what is it behind this whole reason that and in England, like in the UK, we are quite pet obsessed.
That's because we're all so awkward. No, it's true. I mean, if you want my opinion,
Didn't have to look directly at me.
Yeah.
You're like, because you're an awkward person.
No, not you personally, but like it's. I think because we live like hyper individualized lives, and we're really separated. We're like supposed to live in like these tribes, like surrounded by everyone. We've like extended family and everyone we've known and loved. And in these cultures, you don't tend to have animals in that way because animals are kind of for something. They guard something, or they're for getting rid of mice. They're not kind of. But I think we have so much like loneliness in like European Western culture, and this is one of the, because we like live under like capitalism. If you sorry, this isn't like I'm going down a real political tangent, but like we live under like the stresses of capitalism. We work 8 hours a day, and we need things that like feel very comforting that are like not. Like relationships with other humans are far more complicated than a relationship with a pet.
Predictably comforting.
Yeah, because that's why after the pandemic, they said they wanted to make the law that landlords couldn't say no pets because they realized how important pets were for people. Yeah. And it's like just another way of ensuring that we get our basic needs met without dismantling capitalism.
I mean, that's...
Sorry. It's my honest feeling about it.
I was listening to that, and then I was thinking, and my first instinct was like, no, it's not because we're just extending a need inside ourselves and projecting it onto these animals. And then I had a little reflection back onto when I bought my tortoise, Barry, and it was mid-pandemic when I was in a flat by myself and just not seeing anybody and doing Zoom gigs, which are the worst things
Which
in the
was
world.
the worst time.
And then I just went online and bought a tortoise.
Yeah.
And it came in the post.
Huh. It
Came in the post in a little toilet tube. It was in
a toilet tube?
Yeah, a little tiny. It was
How
the size
big was
of a
it?
50 pence piece. And
Are you allowed to post?
Yeah, turns out.
Okay.
So yeah, it was definitely an extension of me feeling like I just needed some company, but without the sort of. I knew that I couldn't have anything large because at that time I was in a teeny tiny flat, and then and I have chosen the one animal that will outlive me. So
great,
that bought company,
so you didn't have to worry about that
legacy. All of that, and then of course had to set up a constant guilt and closure where I'm like, no, I've trapped you with me for the rest of your life, and I must build you the best possible tortoise life.
Yes.
And he couldn't care less.
He's not interested.
Just roaming around.
Yeah, but that's his dream.
So I think you are right.
Fine.
It's like we project these sort of roles onto them. But also I think that, where like their role now is to be pets in a way, like their role of what they do in society is to be like, our creatures. But
this is the thing. It's also about like, I mean, if you on a philosophical level, I think like Europeans struggle to not want to own things. I think we really like to own stuff.
And you're sat now like a Bond villain with one cat asleep on your leg, the other cat perched like a chicken on your shoulder, and me. The person that is so needy towards animals, they're just both looking at me with disgust, just like...
They know I'm not interested in owning them. And that's why I have such a great rapport with animals, because I treat them on the same level as myself.
They are looking at me like I am a capitalist stooge. They're like, you disgust me. Yeah. And your need for ownership. I'm like, it's actually just affection and a deep sense of loneliness.
But of course, but we think we can buy it, and it's complicated.
And I have eaten all their treats.
And you've eaten all their dreamies, so they're like, what the hell is this? And they know I'd never eat their dreamies. Disgusting. No, maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't want to judge you too hard. They look like humans have treats that look like dreamies, I guess.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Little pretzels, I guess. Yeah.
And they're great in a bagel.
Okay.
I am...
Dreamies bagel.
I think I'm gonna
Dreamies
before we
cream
start
cheese.
these podcasts in the future, I'm gonna have snacks, human snacks, beforehand, because I'm very treat focused. This one, Do you think there'd be a particular pet for a particular political party in the UK? Like, what would like Labour?
What
or
would be
Lib
the
Dem?
pet? Well, it's hard because obviously you're going to want to give your preferential political party the good pet, right?
Yeah. It's many layered, this question.
That's really many layered question.
Pretty.
Because if I think about it, I do think do cats feel more middle class?
Say it.
Is that like the worst thing to say? I feel like
they are the most.
And dogs, no, because dogs are so posh. Some dogs.
Okay,
maybe
posh.
actually just pets transcend class. Horse. Okay, conservatives, horse.
Horse, okay. Yeah.
Come on, that's correct.
Yeah.
Hunting, fox hunting, blah, blah, blah. Conservatives, horse. Labour. What is the pet of the Labour Party? I'm going to be real. I think because I'm so frustrated with Labour. As a former Labour supporter.
Some sort of stuffed bird.
I'm going to say like hamster.
It's a hamster.
Yeah, like shit. Like a hamster. No offense to people who love hamsters. Hamsters are fine. Like hamsters are fine. I think they're fine. But they just like, they're the sort of pet I really wanted when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then actually, if you hang out with one for like a bit, they're actually kind of just shit. They just like wake up at night and run in their wheel, and then they're in their cage, and then they just like bite you. Do you know what I mean? They don't do any tricks.
And they never last long enough to do anything of value.
Yeah, and I don't think they're happy either. You know, they just want to be in like the desert or wherever they come from, like living their desert life. So I'm saying that out of spite.
Yeah. I think we're far enough into this administration to label them as hamsters.
Which makes sense. I was young. When I was younger, I used to really was on board with them, thought they were really great. And then now I see them in action. And so it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Do you want a fun fact?
Yeah. I said that too keenly.
Switzerland.
Sure, whatever.
In Switzerland, it's illegal to only have one guinea pig.
Switzerland love laws.
Yeah.
They love... It's also
I learned that in a
illegal
pub quiz recently.
To mow your lawn on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived in Switzerland for a year.
Did you?
Yeah. I lost a dog in a park. And
and then they said, it's time for you to move to Switzerland. That's how it went.
Yeah, I followed it all the way across the borders. No, I was in Switzerland and I had this dog because after I'd got fired from one other job but I had to move out. Anyway, there's too many things. But I was in this park.
Yeah.
In Zurich. Very posh park. And it was just after New Year and I'd been walking this dog and I'd let it off the lead because I was like, not my dog, be free. And apparently that's illegal as well. Yeah. And it wouldn't come back to me.
Because it was like, I've just got a taste of freedom for the first time.
Just like, woo! And these two policemen came over and were like, is that your dog? Yeah. I was like, no, I'm just looking after it. And they were like, you need to be able to recall it to you immediately. Otherwise we're going to have to give you a fine. And I like tried and it just looked at me, looked me in the eye, did a poo, and just ran off in the other direction. And these Swiss policemen are like, you have to clean that up, but you also have to collect your dog. Both are a fine. I was like, which one's the bigger fine? Which one do I do first? Yeah. Like, do I catch it? Do I clean it? Do I catch it? And I cleaned it up. And then because it was just after New Year, there were loads of champagne corks everywhere because it was Zurich and they fire champagne into the lake or whatever. Sure. So I gathered loads.
Everyone's so wealthy.
And I was just trying to lure it back in with these champagne corks. And I'd like throw one, it would come closer. And then I'd throw another one and it would come closer. Yeah. In the end, I just leapt on this tiny little dog and grabbed it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, look, to the policeman. And they were just like, no, we wrote you up your tickets quite a long time ago.
They gave you a fine?
Yeah, huge fine. And then they made me they marched me back to the lady's house and got in this tiny lift with me to go up and see my papers. They were like, we need to see all your papers. Side note, I was there illegally at that point, but it doesn't really matter.
Why? How can you be in Switzerland?
I just overstayed my visa.
Was it after Brexit?
No, because Switzerland's not. It's not in Schengen. And
Is it not in Schengen, Switzerland?
No, and I was working there.
No, Switzerland's in Schengen.
No, Switzerland's not in Schengen.
No, I think it is.
Alice.
I'm really sure it is.
All right.
I feel like I've
some dreamies on this.
Maybe it's not. Am I going to have to buy you a packet of dreamies?
I bet you half a camembert, right? Or a Swiss cheese. Let's go Gouda. Is it Gouda?
Shoulda, woulda, Gouda.
Oh dear, I've just revealed my comedy level.
That's great.
I only like puns from female identified comics. I must stress that. Oh, it is in Schengen.
It's in the Schengen zone, yeah. I knew it was. Because I've flown from Germany to Switzerland before and they don't think they checked my...
I was living there for a little bit.
Well, you should have known better than you. I don't know what to say. It's not in the EU, but it is in the Schengen area.
So it's in Schengen,
but not
in the EU. I think I ended up paying like €200.
That's so much money.
Not in Switzerland. That's like a coffee and a croissant, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but like that's insane.
So it was a lot considering I had €10.
Yeah, I'm fuming on your behalf.
Yeah. But moral of the story is dogs love champagne.
Corks.
Yeah, corks. Maybe it's the champagne, but that's the closest they can get to it.
Yeah.
I think, political parties, hamsters, I like that. Ponies.
I wouldn't even think about what the Lib Democrats. Do we need to worry about them? I think we don't have to think about them for the rest of time, do we? I feel like there was a moment we had to think about them and they were like, maybe these guys are the one. And then they fucked that up and now we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
I always feel like, no offense to anyone who like votes Lib Dem, but it feels like Lib Dems are like people that are like, I like politics, but I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I don't know what I believe in. You're like, all right.
Politics is what happens directly to me.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, I like democracy, I enjoy voting. Like, okay, I have no thoughts about whether things should go either way, but like...
I love politics, but I'm scared of change.
Yeah.
Immediate change.
Lib Dem, like, I mean,
that describes all of the parties now.
Doesn't really stand for anything, it turns out, Lib Dem.
Yeah.
It was like they could be bought so easily, unbelievably easily. It was embarrassing.
Goldfish?
Yeah.
Goldfish.
Yeah, goldfish.
Buy them at a fair.
Yeah.
Last a week.
Stick insect.
Stick insects can self-procreate.
Can they?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's too cool then.
Oh, okay.
For the Lib Dems.
If we're taking Xylo out of the equation,
Yeah.
who's your favourite cat?
I cat sit for.
Yeah.
Okay, the problem is I don't know if I can admit this out loud because I lie to everyone I cat sit for and tell them that their cat's my favourite cat.
That's okay, because only my mother will listen to this.
Okay.
And she forgets everything.
Okay, so it's a toss-up actually, I think, at the moment between two. It's Mocky, who's in Berlin.
Cracking.
Who's my friend Hannah's cat.
Cool Berlin Mocky.
Mocky. Tortoiseshell.
Probably a few piercings and a couple of ironic tattoos.
Piercing.
Yeah.
So tortoiseshell, that's my cat Sophie was tortoiseshell. So
that's
I think
beautiful.
And she's very, very friendly. She'll come and just like sit on you straight away and purr. And then she has a very high-pitched, quite cute meow where she's like, prrr, prrr, and then she'll come in.
Oh, she's chic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's quite a good cat. And then my friend Marlene's cat, who's also tortoiseshell. Maybe I have a soft spot for tortoiseshell because my cat was tortoiseshell.
Seeing the theme.
Is called Cosima. And she was very cute to look after because she also similarly, I just sit on bed and like do laptop and she'd just come and lie on your legs.
Oh.
And after lockdown, I moved in and there was a cat there.
But not into this house with your friend's parents.
No.
Different.
So yeah, I moved in with like two people.
And a cat.
And then a cat.
Okay.
And the cat was called Pickle.
Nice.
And we loved Pickle. Pickle was great. Pickle was one of those grey cats, British short hairs.
Lovely.
And they're not lap cats. They do not like to be picked up, but they will always like to be near you. And he would come in the mornings. We'd look out the window together.
Oh.
Yeah, he was very cute.
Just a company cat.
He's a company cat. They like to be where you are. But Pickle once pooed on my bed. But he did a lot of poos during that time on beds. Protest poos.
Just exclusively on beds?
Yeah. And I think it was like a protest.
What was he protesting about?
I think because he was like a bit of an anxious cat because he'd had a bad childhood.
Yeah.
He was like a knockoff Gumtree cat. Do you know what I mean? So he had a bad childhood. And I think he was like, someone had moved in and he was like, oh, this is different.
Right. He's like, no. Or maybe, do you think was it a positive house share, that one?
Yeah.
Oh. Because I was like, maybe he's warning you.
I never really kind of made friends, I think, with my housemates because I was out. It was a classic thing of like, if you've got housemates that work daytime jobs or out doing comedy, you don't really cross over.
You don't see them. And there's no time for you to say, by the way, the poos on the beds, not me.
Yeah.
They're not me. And you really need that as a person-to-person interaction. Otherwise, they're going to be like, she keeps blaming Pickles. So a friendly house, but a lot of suspicion going around.
A lot of tension.
Yeah. Big Pickles poos all around, dropping his gherkins all over the place. But I loved
Pickle. Pickle was like one of my...
Of course, because he sounds like a rebel.
Favourite cats.
I think to be able to drop an anxious poo is a real skill.
And he was really good at it. You leave the bedroom for 5 minutes, you'd be back.
Pickles! He's just there staring out the window like, who knows?
Who knows?
I was just contemplating my childhood and it just dropped out of me in the only safe place I could think of.
Yeah.
Gross. And it was that was only once that you managed to do it on your bed though.
The only once he did it on mine. And and I will tell you why, it was my fault. I came home drunk. And I was like so excited to see him. As like, this actually happened to my best friend the other day. She's got 2 kids, not cats. These are human children, but like roughly they're not the same thing. But we got drunk and she hasn't got like really drunk in ages.
Yeah.
And so we were like, we got in and we were like drinking more wine and I was going to stay the night. And then she like tried to go in and wake her children up. Because it's like you're really drunk and you're like, I love my kids. And like it's the same when you're really drunk. You're like, my cat, I love my cat.
Yeah. The amount of sessions my
thank
daughter's
God
had
her
go through.
partner was there. He was like, I've just got them to sleep. Don't wake up our children who are like 2. But yeah, it was like that. It was like, I was like, the cat. And I was like so excited to see him. And I picked him up. He wasn't a cat that like loved that. Took him to my room. Yeah. And I like shut him in my room to be like, I'm going to come back and like be really excited to hang out with you. And then I came back and in the 5 minutes he pooed on my bed. And I was like, you know what? Actually, fair play.
Fair play.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, imagine if someone you're like really drunk was like, you come and be here. And you're like, I don't want to be here.
I've only got one weapon.
Yeah.
And
he got what he wanted. And that's actually
Let me out. Let me out and never do this again. I mean.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, fair play.
Pickles. I think, very clearly articulating what he does and does not like.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why
I dated a guy that called him Mr. Pickle.
Mr. Pickle.
Yeah, and I was like, his name is not Mr. Pickle.
Also, he's just immediately inferior to the cat.
Right. That was also the feeling.
Hi, Kate. Hi, Mr. Pickle.
Yeah.
I just would you mind if I just go in here?
I was like, you don't have to call him Mr. Pickle.
Excuse me, Mr. Pickle. Do you mind if I sit on this bed where you? Actually, that's where I do my poos.
Actually, that's my.
Could you get out Kate's bed, please? That's where.
I mean, actually, Pickle really liked him because Pickle really liked boys because we were a house of girls.
Oh, I see what this is.
And
it's a hate crime, Pickle.
And anytime a boy would stay around, Pickle would sleep on the bed. He like loved the boys,
but with no poo.
Yeah, no pooing. He'd be like, "Oh, a man's here. I'll come stay."
It's so annoying.
Pickle was gay, but that's fine. But good. I prefer it that way. But
Mr. Pickle.
And I said to him, "You don't have to call the cat Mr. Pickle." And he was like, "You don't understand my relationship with the cat."
Just like, neither do you.
He was a nice boyfriend, but he wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like,
he was a nice boyfriend in lots of ways. He had a lot of like feelings. It makes me sound like such an arsehole every time I say that. I've got to stop telling people
It makes you sound like a cat.
It does. I'm just like, no, because cats are really sensitive to people's feelings sometimes. I had a cat. My cat was like the most... If I was crying, my cat, it doesn't matter where she was, she'd like come and find me.
Oh.
And she'd be like, meow. She like could tell when I was crying.
That's lovely.
She was like such a great cat, and I just love cats for that. Like they care when you need to care, but the rest of the time they're not going to be like out here being like, are you all right? Which is nice. That's what you want. You don't want it all the time to be like someone around being like, huh?
Just in your space.
Yeah. You want just someone who comes when you're like, oh, a bit sad. But I just, maybe... I don't know, men have a lot of feelings, I find. And they're always stupid ones.
They're so emotional.
In my experience, yeah.
Yeah, I just think...
But like over really annoying stuff. Do you know what I mean? You're not giving me enough attention. It's like, get life.
What sort of pet are the partners that you tend to gravitate
towards? The needy
dogs,
which is the problem.
This is the problem.
This is the ongoing problem, is that like I feel like their need. This is why I don't dislike dogs. I'm really like fine with dogs. Dogs are great. I'm happy to like look after your dog, whatever. But I just don't like them the way I like cats, because they feel like they need more from you.
Yeah.
That I find frustrating.
That's what I love about dogs.
Sorry, my face was like... It's just like, it's this neediness where it's like, give me this non-stop attention. Yeah. And I'm like, you've got to learn... I think because I was an only child, so I'm like, you got to figure out how to entertain yourself.
No, I'm a twin, so I'm like right up in my space at all times.
Yeah, you're like...
All times.
Yes.
Let's be annoying to each other at all times.
Right, yeah.
And if I don't say my feeling out loud to somebody else, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Whereas you're self-contained.
I have
possibly healthier.
No, I don't know if it is. I mean, I don't think so, probably, because I do a lot of processing my feelings on my own, which I don't think is very good for you, actually. I think you should process them with other people.
Some of them. Only the good ones. Only the interesting
You're sad.
ones.
Get in your box.
To the kitty
But
winner.
yeah, I've had so many also boyfriends that prefer dogs to cats. But yeah, like needy, like kind of always needing to be in your space and stuff. It's not that I don't want like to really care for someone and their feelings, and I don't want that kind of like really good intimate bond.
Yeah.
It's like I'm advertising myself on some fucking day now. If there are a lot of eligible people listening to this podcast, Kate's in the market
This
for
is
a rich
pet
partner.
podcast. There are no straight men listening to this podcast. No eligible straight men listening to this.
I'm not ruling out other genders.
Perfect. Well, there'll be plenty
New
of them.
lesbians. Come on, that podcast. But I think I just need, I don't want to do that thing where it's like, I'm your whole deal.
Yeah. Independence.
You've got to have a life and like your own job.
It's essential to being a comic, I would say. That streak
It's a
of
comedian
independence.
thing, don't you think?
Yeah.
And this is the problem. If you date other comedians, I think they don't know it. They don't understand it because they're like, I do my job, and often they don't like their job. And they're like, all day I'm doing this job. And then in the evening, they're like, let's hang out.
You're like, no.
And I'm like, in the evening, I'm out the house.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to figure out how to entertain yourself. And I'll be back probably around midnight with absolutely zero charisma and reserves because I've just used them up on a bunch of other people.
I might see you on a Monday.
Yeah, but on a Monday afternoon, I can bang you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's when I'm available
Monday,
for sex.
scheduled,
Yeah.
banging.
Yeah.
I think there's no wrong with being a cat person. Person that should be a cat, person that prefers cats.
I love
All of
cats.
those things within it. I mean,
dream
joy
is
has
to have a cat.
really taken to you.
Yeah.
And what I love about my tortoise, Barry, is that he has no choice into who you pick him up and you place him on you, and there he stays.
And that's Barry.
That's why I got a tortoise.
Barry the girl tortoise.
Don't like choice.
You don't want them to
Just-
be able to leave.
I should have got a rock, really. Shouldn't I?
But can he protest poo?
Once every couple of days.
Yeah.
Ideal. Certainly can't do it on my bed. Absolutely not. Can't get up there. Kate,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Okay. It's the end. Okay. Goodbye.
We're getting better and better every time. Kate, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having
to
me.
our fantastically odd podcast that I love very much.
I love it.
What exciting stuff have you got coming up in the outside of the pet and animal realm in the human world? What stuff have you got going?
A tour.
A tour.
A tour.
A tour, man. You're
Yeah.
going on tour. That's done exciting.
Yeah. Why did you get really Newcastle?
Because I'm from Northumberland, and
Okay, got you. Sorry.
occasionally when real emotions come
suddenly,
through,
but it just suddenly hit then.
you should see me on
I
stage.
dated a guy from Northumberland. No, dated is the wrong word. I slept with him at a wedding. I banged a guy after
Yeah,
a
but
wedding.
in Northumberland, I mean, that means you're basically married.
Does it?
Yeah, he's probably still pining after you
I don't
somewhere.
think so. He lives in Marseille.
He escaped from Northumberland.
Yeah.
Tell me
But
his
we
name
had-
later. I wonder if I've got-
Okay.
Yeah.
We had sex and then he was like, afterwards he like left.
Good that it was afterwards.
No, but he did actually stay
Midway
around for,
through.
I think, 2 days we were there.
Oh.
And this, I was actually in one of my friend's house that I was cat sitting.
Stay
you're
out of
allowed
these
to-
houses.
I can bring people. You can bring people back to the cat sitting house. Sorry, I said I know you said wrap it out, but let me tell you one final story. And then he was like, but when he like left, and he was like, he said it in a really Northumberland accent. He was like, "That was lovely," and I was like, "Are you sure? It sounds like you had a horrible time." There was like zero emotion to it. It was like completely monotone.
That was lovely.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, thank you
I was
very-
like, what?
Thank you very much, Pet.
He's
I've
like,
had the
"No,
time
I'm
of my life.
serious. No, I'm serious. I was like, okay. I don't know why you sounded like you had a terrible time, but yeah.
Have you seen the weather up there? That's
Yeah, sure.
You know, we've just been eroded down to the very bare bones of enthusiasm now
Yeah.
through bad news and bad weather. No, but when I get waves of excitement,
then-
my accent comes out. So on
Got you.
stage,
Yeah.
it's unhinged.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, you're all right, like man, like we've only got ham to see me feather, and people are like, something's gone wrong with Eva. Something's gone wrong. So actually, what you heard in my voice was genuine joy for your
I love
tour.
that. Thank you. My tour.
Actually-
Sorry, I forgot to say I'm going on tour.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was chuffed for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
yes.
Where you tell us the name of your show. Apparently, it got was just the talk of the town in Edinburgh.
Yeah, people kept saying that, but was it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
as I was flying,
it's
for
not
my
that
own
every day,
show.
but was it the talk of the town? I don't see any evidence of that.
I've heard lovely things
People
about
kept
it.
saying that to me, yeah.
I'm excited. I'm going to catch you on tour as well. But it's is it the Messiah Comes?
Messiah Comes, yeah.
It's
yes.
Oh my gosh, you must be. I'm trying to reduce my accent now.
Yeah, no, do
oh my
it.
gosh, you must be. You must be thrilled.
I am thrilled to be going on tour.
And
yes.
I'm too busy trying to keep my accent down now.
Get the accent out.
That's fantastic.
Get your accent out for
And
the lads.
loads,
For the lads.
get your pets out, get your accent out.
Yeah.
And loads of live stand-up comedy. And
Yes, there's like 10 shows.
Fantastic.
So come to one of them.
Catch you all on your Instagram.
All over the UK.
On your Instagram, on your website, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Kate Cheka. Cheka. Mawam. That's not... You know the advert? Yeah? No.
No.
No?
No.
Maoam. Mawam. No? Do you not remember that advert? Okay, that's why no one responds when I say that.
Yeah,
actually.
I think that...
Cheka. Mawam.
I thought you got the BNBN advert wrong.
BNBN.
No, right, focus.
Cheka.
And you want to...
It's just the spelling of my last name because sometimes people have trouble spelling it. So.
Well, thank you very much.
No one has trouble spelling Kate.
Coming on.
It's cat, but spelled with a K with an E on the end. Imagine the little word cat and then put a K at the front and
But
an E at
spell
the
it
end.
completely differently.
No, the same.
Yeah, it's a completely different word.
Kate's cat, E on the end. E on the end. E on the end.
You're overly complicated this. See, look, now my accent's come out. I'm enraged.
Yeah.
I'm enraged. My joy's gone. Oh no, joy's right there on your lap.
Joy's not gone.
I think she's passed out. Enjoy your tour. Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you for having me.
And
And I look forward to this lasagna like Garfield.